any game companies watching this, I need you to take your notepads out right now because we have got some notes for you. Marvel Rivals has already been like, you know, absolutely killing it when it comes to just making a good game, making a fun game, and honestly just pleasing the audience, us, the players. They're coming out the gate and be like, hey, we care about you. We care about your feedback, your input. We want to make this game as best as possible. And how do we do that? The players, we gotta listen to them and they know it. And they are doing what most gaming companies just do not do ever, or learn way too late, and you know, maybe their game dies or whatever. But Marvel Rivals is taking this to a whole new level and really showing how it's supposed to be done, how you make a good game, and how you really please your player base. Because if you want to make money, which is, you know, the whole point of making a game, let's be honest, you have to appease to those that are going to spend the money, and that is the players. And man, Marvel Rivals, you guys, they have been on fire. Let's go and start from the beginning, right? Marvel Rivals comes out, okay? Free to play game. And we all know that free to play is not always like the best option, right? Like free to play, so a lot of the games, either they last a little long or whatever, or short, and then they die off or whatever. So, but out the gate, it is a really good, like, hey, this is a free to play game. So out the gate, your entry fee is $0, which is already a great place to start, right? So out the gate, we're already at a good spot, right? Real quick, we're talking about this because they had some big things, some big changes, some big decisions have been had over at Marvel Rivals that I think need to be heard, need to be understood and talked about. So Marvel Rivals comes out, free to play game, okay? Not only is it free to play, but every character in the game, every map is free. You can play the entire game, never spend a dime, and have a blast. They come out and say, hey, if you want cosmetics, only cosmetics are going to be the paid things. If you want a skin for Iron Man, if you want to, I almost said Batman, if you want a skin for like Hulk, you guys can do that. And that is where the money comes from, right? And of course, you're going to want a dope skin for your main characters. You know, if you play Spider-Man, yeah, seeing that awesome skin is probably going to entice you to spend 10, 20 bucks and get that skin for your character. Now, you don't have to, but again, we're talking about a great starting point to what we're going to call a great game, right? Then you take the IP. So Marvel, most people, they like Marvel, right? Most people like superheroes, they like super abilities and doing all these fun things. And let's be honest, most gamers online, you're going to see a lot of stuff. There's a whole gaming community for any game. Racers, fighters, whatever. But of course, there's a very large gaming community for shooters. And now you put that into a hero format, you're like, oh, I can go play Iron Man. I can go play as Moon Knight in this PvP hero shooter. That's going to entice a lot of people because there's like a lot of niche fans for, you know, Storm and Wolverine and Mantis and maybe some for Cloak and Dagger, right? Anyways, you come out the gate with not only a free-to-play game, but you got some really good IPs behind it. That's also a great start. Season 0 is kind of your beta, even though you kind of already had a beta. Season 0, again, kind of your beta, right? Season 1 starts. You're like, hey, this season, we're going to give you 4 new characters. Again, for free. You're going to get the whole Fantastic Four for free. You're going to get all of them. Now, they did say going forward, the future seasons, they can't keep up on the 4, you know, characters every season cadence. So they're going to do, I think they said 2 characters a season or whatever, which is still insane. You know, a season's 3 months, that's 4 seasons a year, 2 times 4, you're getting 8 new characters a year for free. That's huge. That is keeping you, the player, enticed to keep playing. You're going to have a blast, and then in 6 weeks, boom, free new character. Now, what's the whole point of this rant, right? Like, we're talking about all the good things that Marvel Rivals is doing. Before I get into the big one that happened recently, let me state that I am a Marvel Rivals partner / ambassador, whatever, okay? I will tell you right now, Marvel Rivals, NetEase Games, they take care of their ambassadors more than I have seen for other games. Now, I can't speak for all games, but I've been an ambassador for a couple other games / companies. Marvel Rivals takes care of their ambassadors better than any of the other ones that I've been an ambassador for. They want to pay the ambassadors for the views they're getting on their content, so that way they're basically paying for marketing, right? Like they're like, hey, go push out content, make the best content you can for our game. We'll take care of you. Not only that, we're getting early access to some of the games, and that's very common in a lot of like ambassador programs. You get early access to the content, the game, the characters, the maps, whatever. So you, as the creator, can like show it off to your audience and say, hey, if you guys are interested, you know, here's a first glimpse at the Human Torch or the Thing. So if you want to take a gander early, here you go. That is good marketing, right? Like, would you rather see a billboard about the new character or see your favorite creator play them early and just have a good time watching them do so? Some might argue one or the other, but the point is, Marvel Rivals, NetEase, is taking care of their ambassadors better than I've experienced for other games. So right out of the gate, I knew that they knew what they were doing. I was like, okay, they want to take care of us. They want to take care of their players. They want to take care of the people that are taking time out of their day to make content for their game. Now, normally, us creators, we just do it because we love it. We do it for free. We do it because we love the game. But Marvel Rivals is like, no. Let us take care of you. You deserve this. That is that for huge. Love that. Now, with all that on the table, right? We've got a lot of good points that prove and back up the idea that I'm going to say fact that Marvel Rivals is a really good game, and they're doing a lot of good things right now. Here is the meat of the video. Sorry for my rant here, okay? We have a tweet here, right? It says the first half of season 1 is reaching its end. So we're coming up like the 1.5 season, like the half season 1. They say here we will be introducing additional rank resets, and these updates are expected to shake up the battlefield during the second half. So of course, another update for the characters, a patch, whatever. But the big thing that got people riled up was the additional ranked resets. Now, they go on to their dev talk and say, you know, at the half season, you're going to go down a drop of 4 divisions. So if you ended your first half at Diamond 1, you're now going to start at Platinum 2. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that is, for a half season drop, that is pretty hefty. Like normally, I think every season, it's like 6 or 7 divisions you go down, which is already quite a bit. And a lot of us, like people think I do YouTube full time. I don't. I got a full-time job. I got things at home. I got family. I got friends. I got things I got to worry about, just like all you guys, whether it be school or work or whatever. So we don't have all the time in the world to grind our asses off and get to Grandmaster, get to Celestial, whatever, right? Because a lot of the time, once you're good enough, it's just a matter of how much time you can put into the game, right? And so a lot of us get to Platinum or Diamond or whatever, and then every 6 weeks when we already don't have enough time, you're telling me, I'm going to go down 4 divisions, and then 6 weeks later 6 or 7 divisions, and that's going to happen every 6 weeks. So this decision right here to go down 4 divisions every half season was a really big deal for most of the community. I saw this not have a really positive response all over X, Twitter, all over Reddit. I saw it everywhere, and I was like, man, people do not like this idea. But how cool is it that, again, this is the kind of meat of the video right here, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I want to hear your takes on this, because I thought this was so cool that I had to like just go off on it. Because then Marvel Rivals comes out and they're like, hey, this is like the next day. It was like legitimately like 24 hours later. Like after all of this, people were like, you know, they made their videos how just like shitty this sucks. Like, why would you do this? Come on, please don't do this. And they come out and they're like, hey, thank you for all your passionate discussions and feedback. There will be no rank reset when the second half of the season begins. Can we just stop right there? Can we just stop right there? Game companies that you're watching, you're not watching. If you're watching this, take your notepads out and write this shit down, because the fact that Marvel Rivals, within like I think it was like a day, maybe 2 days, came out. They're like, hey, we've seen your feedback. We've seen you don't like this. You do not like this decision of ours. We see your points. We see your arguments, and we understand. We get this. So how about this? We're just gonna completely redact our decision, and there will no longer be rank resets when the second half of the season begins. So now they're no longer doing the 4 division drops or whatever. They're just doing the 6 every season, which at that point I kind of get. Like you have to have like a reason to continue to play the ranked and, you know, prove your skills and get back up there and whatever. But every half season was a bit of a stretch, was a bit aggressive, was a bit heavy, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that they came out again a day later, even within the same week, let's say it was a week later, the fact that they still came out and said, you know what, we appreciate you, our players, We appreciate your passionate discussions and feedback so much. We're not gonna just, you know, slightly tone it down or whatever. We're just gonna completely throw that idea out the window, and there will be no rank resets. That was the coolest thing to me. I was like, dude, if every gaming company, free to play or not, took the feedback from their players and the discussions they have online this seriously, they paid this much attention, way more games would thrive. Man, way more games would be more successful. They would have a stronger community. You know what I mean? Like, people would be willing to talk about stuff. And this also gives us, the players, hope and validity to Marvel Rivals. We're like, hey, if we are loud enough and we have these discussions and we give them this feedback, they will listen. I mean, obviously they can't listen to everything we want, but at least we're being heard. And this proves that, like, we know now that we're being heard, and that's just too big. That's just too huge to ignore. That I think people aren't really giving this idea enough credit. That a gaming company is coming out here, a really big one too, by the way, making probably one of the most popular games right now, comes out and just says, yeah, we'll listen to you, because rather than that, they could have just said F you guys, like, F you, we're doing the rank reset, deal with it. They could have literally just said, said that. They're just like, hey, F your thoughts, F your discussions, we're doing the rank resets, deal with it, or pack your bags, go home, who cares? But instead, they wanted to literally please us, and that is the coolest thing. That's it. That's what I want to talk about, because it is so freaking awesome. And as a partner, this makes me happy, right? Like, and not as a player and just whatever, but as a partner who is now more proud to be a partner for Marvel Rivals, it is so cool. I'm like, yeah, guys, the game that I'm a partner for, that I cover, that I talk about, guess what? This gaming company not only listens to us, the partners, but you, the players, all of us, the whole community. If we have a problem, now again, they can't deal with everything, so don't think I'm saying they will listen to everything you say or we say. Like, if we're trying to be out here like, nerf Cloak and Dagger, you need to buff Wolverine, mama, they will listen to the majority of those, right? They'll come out with the patches. I'm not here to say like, hey, if you whine enough online, they'll listen to you. I'm just saying, like, as a majority, like majority of the time, they will listen to the player base as a whole and go, oh, that's a good point. We see what you're saying. Yeah, we're no longer going to do the ranked resets. But again, I'm not saying if you whine loud enough that you're gonna get your way. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just out here to show off that Marvel Rivals NetEase. If you're watching this, thank you so much. This is so cool. This proves that you're at least willing to listen. That you're at least looking at our discussions. You're looking at our feedback and giving it enough thought that you're willing to go back on your decisions. And that right there, I think, is what the whole point of this is, because a lot of companies, they're not willing to admit when they messed up or when they were wrong. A lot of people are like, oh, you got a good point, but we don't want to look weak, and so we're going to stick to our guns and make this decision anyways. Like, this, I think, is more of a bigger man step, right? Like, be the bigger man and go, yep, you're not, you know, good point. We're not going to do that. I don't have another word. Then that is just so cool. That is awesome. Oh, well, there's the rant for the day, I guess. And let me know your guys' thoughts down below. What do you think of Marvel Rivals taking feedback like this and listening to the players, listening to you? What do you think about that? They're coming out here like, yeah, we're just gonna throw that idea out the window. And that's, for every player is like, that's awesome, cool, thank you so much. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you guys enjoy Marvel Rivals content, subscribe here for more. We got new videos twice a week. We stream twice a week, and we got daily shorts. So who doesn't want more content? Take it one step at a time, and I will see you in the next video and or stream.